Referencing can be one of the hardest and most irritating parts of essay writing. However, you're sacrificing marks if you don't take this part of your essay writing seriously, and with these top 5 tips, I'm going to walk you through the best ways to improve your referencing for your essays. Welcome everyone to another episode of GetPsyched, and today we're going to be looking at referencing and how to do it better. I'm going to walk you through 5 main tips on how to improve your referencing and just how to make it easier for you come the end of your essay. So let's begin. Tip number 1. Make sure you're fully aware with the referencing format that you need to meet for your university and for your essay. There are numerous different types of referencing formats. APA, Harvard are just a couple of the most common ones in psychology. Your university or your essay may require a completely different kind of format, and all the different formats can actually be very, very different from each other, so you need to be aware of what one you need to use. Whatever referencing format you need to meet, make sure to familiarize yourself with that format completely. There's some good references online for each referencing format that walks you through the format that you need to meet. Harvard have one, APA have another, and any other kind of referencing format will have a website that meet the criteria. Point number 2, use Google Scholar. Not everybody's actually familiar with this, but Google Scholar have a really good tool on how to help you with your referencing. Say you've read an article, you want the reference for it in the format that you need to meet for your university. You can go onto Google Scholar, you can type in that article name and the author, and it will come up with a selection of articles. It's likely that your article is going to be in that list, and Google Scholar is going to give you a tab that either says referencing or citation. If you hit this tab, it's going to give you a guideline for how to reference that article based on the format that you need to meet. All you need to do is just copy it and paste it. Point number 3. Use a referencing application or online tool. It could be the case that your university has an online tool for referencing. RefWorks is one that my university use, for example. However, to let you in on a little tip, I actually use a separate application altogether. I use an application on my Mac called Papers. Now, this isn't a free application, it's something that you have to pay for, but you do get a massive discount if you're a student. All you have to do is take a picture of your student ID and send it to them, and they'll send you a code for a discount. With this application, I can store all the articles that I read, I can download them, input them into Papers, and put them into different categories. But what's even better is I can get the citation or the reference from that paper with that application. I highly recommend that you download this if you've got a Mac. I'm pretty sure they have a format that's able to go on PCs and Windows as well. They have really good YouTube videos that help you with tutorials, so that's all the information that you're going to need for it. This has helped me massively with my referencing and with my article reading in general at uni. Point number 4, always triple check your referencing. Checking your referencing once isn't enough. Checking it twice isn't enough. Checking it 3 times probably still isn't enough, but I could keep going on. You need to always be checking on your referencing. It can be irritating, but it's likely that your tutor will pick up on the smallest of mistakes in your referencing. Things such as quotation marks and capital letters will be pulled up and brought out in your feedback. So it's important that you're always checking your referencing. Point number 5, don't forget about the referencing in the body of your text. This is something that's often overlooked. We can concern ourselves so much with referencing in the bibliography that we forget that we've got to apply it to the body of the text as well. You need to make sure that you have brackets around the referencing, that your commas are in the right place, and that you have the correct names and dates. You also need to make sure that you're using the term et al. Appropriately. Now, as much as there's different formats for referencing in the bibliography, it's the case that all formats meet the same criteria in the body of the text, so that doesn't really change. One key point for this though is that often what can happen is people focus so much on referencing in the bibliography and adding all those articles in that they forget that during their essay writing process they've actually taken some of those articles out of the body of the text. Make sure you're checking that your bibliography reflects all of the articles in your text, that it has all of them there, and it doesn't have articles in the bibliography that aren't in the text. Bottom line is, guys, that you need to be paying a lot of attention to your referencing in essays. There's a lot of online tools that are really easy to access, they're free, and they're going to give you guidelines for the format of your referencing. Hopefully these 5 points have been of use to you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in to GetPsyched again. We're going to have more upcoming content on essay writing, on studying, and in the field of psychology, so stay tuned and thanks for watching.